Hello everyone, this is your mentor Nilesh Sharma from Yashash Academy. Making this very important video today to help you all with a few tips, a few suggestions, and to also remind you all that today when I'm recording this video is 13th of November. So we have exactly 1 month left to the examination for the December examination, CA Foundation. Uh, I hope this feeling is now slowly sinking in. I hope your preparations are going strong. Your classes have been completed about 2-3 weeks ago now. Preparations are going strong. I know there is going to be a lot of sense of fear. Self doubt is going to creep in at a lot of times. But let me tell you a few tips as to how we can overcome most of the issues which students usually face. I know these are tough times, and there is still COVID around. It is not completely gone. So the entire last 2 years have been, in fact, very difficult for students overall in a general scenario itself. So let me try and explain a few points, give you a few tips which can help you in this entire process. First, let me start with the very important things which are exam oriented. Now, just to remind you all, our CA Foundation examination, we are allowed to write only with a black ballpoint pen. So, just in case you are not aware of this, you are allowed to write the examination only in a black ballpoint pen, no gel pen, no ink pen, uh, whatever other varieties you can think of. Only a black ballpoint pen is allowed, sir. Blue pen, green, red, no other colors. Why does ICI do this? See, now ICI's evaluation is now digital. So whenever you write your examination, your answer sheets are scanned, and because of the scanning, in case you use black pen, then it is easier for the scanner to read your handwriting. That is why ICI has introduced this policy. So make sure you adhere to this. Don't be surprised. Sir, why are you reminding us this right now? Still 1 month left to the examination. So while you are practicing, make sure that you continue to practice with the same black ballpoint pen. Get comfortable with the kind of pen that you use. Decide the brand, variety, whatever. There is no preference as such. So whatever you're comfortable with, use that. But make sure it's just a black ballpoint pen. This is going to help you in the examination, because if you are used to writing with a different color pen while practicing, then it will kind of put you off when you go ahead and write with the black pen directly in the examination. Second point, your subjective papers, that is paper 1 of accounts and paper 2 of law and BCR. These are subjective, as you all are aware, and is going to be for 3 hours. That is 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock is usually the examination timing. But your paper number 3 and paper number 4, that is math, stats and logical reasoning and economics and BCK, this is objective in nature, that is multiple choice, so there is no writing. So over here you will not be using a pen, but you will be circling your answers with a HB pencil. That's right, students. No pen allowed to circle, bubble your options. You're supposed to use a pencil. Sir, is a pen pencil allowed? Well, it's allowed. There is no restriction, but pen pencils are usually not very reliable when you're supposed to bubble and make darker circles. So kindly use a pencil. Again, in case you want to get used to it or don't have it, make sure you keep that in stock. I know exams are still a month away, and when the hall ticket gets released, I will make sure I make another video and explain to you all how to download the hall ticket, what are the other requirements of before going to the examination hall. That we'll keep for a separate video. However, here I want to make sure that you all are aware of this fact so that you prepare in the same way in advance. I hope this basic instruction of how to prepare over the next month from a technical point of view is clear. Now let's look into the other criteria. I hope you all remember in that paper number 3 and paper number 4, which is only for 2 hours, remember. There is also negative marking. Paper number 1 and 2, that is accounts and law BCR, don't have negative marking, but the objective papers, that is multiple choice papers, have negative marking. So while you're doing your mock tests, while you're practicing, make sure that you do not unnecessarily bubble each and every question if you don't have if you are not sure of the answer, because if in case you have, let's for example, 45 correct answers, but because of your wrong answers you get more than a -5, in that case, even though you had the correct amount of right answers, still your total would be less than 40. So be very careful. I am not suggesting that you don't attempt questions at all which you are not very sure of, but you have to know how much risk you can take. Don't attempt every question just for the sake of it. If you have no idea, accept it. Remember, we only have to score a minimum of 40 in each individual paper and overall 50 percentage. One important exam tip which I can tell you, which you might face during the examination, I'll tell you right now. Be mentally prepared for this. Uh, I'm not saying that CA Foundation examinations are easy, but they are not too difficult also. So don't be too scared of the examination. And during a course of 4 papers, there could be at least one paper expected, whether you find any paper very difficult now. In the exam, that paper could be easy, while a paper which you find easy right while preparing could turn out to be difficult in the examination. So don't get bogged down by it, because you never know how your markings are going to be, how what kind of evaluation is going to happen, and you can never predict in advance whether I will clear or not clear. On the day of the examination, do how you are going to do, irrespective of you feel that you have done well or not. Don't think of that paper. Move on to the next paper. Eventually, all 4 papers to get put together, the exam will turn out to be well. Don't let one paper, as to your judgment as to how I feel it's going to go, affect the other papers. Make sure your preparation is going to be accordingly. This also puts across a very important factor while preparation now. Sir, I find maths very difficult. Sir, I find stats very difficult. Sir, law is something which is a bouncer for me. Accounts could be difficult for some, and some could find even economics difficult, that I'm not able to understand the concepts. Well, everybody, it's very subjective in nature. Some students like practical more, some students like theory more. So don't be scared of any of the papers, but I'm sure by now you all have identified which are your weaker papers. All you have to do is make sure that your weaker papers, you're not leaving the preparation till the end, still 1 month left to the examination. In case you have any weakness in a subject, let's say there is one chapter in a whole subject you find generally okay, but there is a particular chapter you're finding difficult, do not procrastinate. Make sure that you are preparing that chapter immediately. Do not postpone the difficult things. Do the difficult things right now. So later, when you have slightly lesser time, you will not have pressure, because you know the easy part is pending, not the difficult part. The difficult part is already done. So never procrastinate and postpone something that you're finding difficult, because when you do that, that's when a lot of students end up studying lesser hours in a day. That is what is generally observed, because that is always running in your mind. Even when you're studying the easier chapters, it will always keep affecting your mind, that sir, I still have that chapter pending, and because of that, if I am not able to pass, such thoughts, it's very common that such thoughts would end up coming to our mind. So therefore, to avoid such mistakes, make sure that you're studying all the difficult chapters immediately. Do not procrastinate. Do the difficult chapters first. That is one very important study technique you need to follow. Study at least 2 subjects a day. I would recommend not to study the same subject the entire day. See, I'm assuming that now, with 1 month left to the examination, you should be putting in a good 8 to 12 hours a day of studies. Only 1 month left to the examination. So irrespective of where your preparation is, that sir, I have finished my entire preparation, I'm only revising, or sir, I'm just starting my preparation, does not matter. Yes, there could be students who are just starting our preparation and it is possible to pass. CA Foundation is not that difficult that you cannot cover up the syllabus and pass the examination by preparing in a month, unless you have not finished your classes at all. I'm assuming by this date, all of you have no classes pending, maybe 1 or 2 chapters, but my personal suggestion right now, your focus should not be on viewing classes. Right now, your focus should be on practice, and even if you start your practice today, it is still sufficient time for you to clear the examination in December. 1 month is sufficient, provided you work hard for this entire month, consistently 8 to 12 hours, and good 8 to 12 hours. Don't just sit in front of the book, sleep, play games on your phone, chat with your friends, or whatever else that you're doing other than studying on the study table. Make sure that you are completely focused. One thing you should all remember is, at the end, not just this course, but the CA Foundation is just another examination. Most of you are not too scared when there is a BCom or a PU or a 10 or a regular exam which you have written so far, right? We used to always prepare in advance, but never be too scared that how am I going to get through. We used to find a way, and we already have. So this is also going to be something similar, but the preparation and strategy for a professional exam has to be slightly more different and a little more professional where in your approach. You cannot treat it exactly the same as you treated your previous examinations which you have done. I know the students who are attempting this time for the first attempt, I'm assuming most of you all didn't even have the luxury of writing your 12th board examination, second PO or 12th board examination. So it is slightly a disadvantage to most of you because it's been a while since most of you have written a normal exam, and your CA foundation examination is going to be a normal examination. So do write your mock tests, practice by writing, not just the mock test, but even when you're solving your accounts questions, maths questions, don't just revise by reading the book, revise by solving. Sir, how will I solve the entire syllabus? Well, you don't have to solve each and every question by writing, but all the important steps. Now, when it comes to accounts, from the first question up to the last question, there could be two or three journal entries which are different, and the other journal entries are common, right? So therefore, don't write the journal entries which are common, and you know how to pass them and what is the whole implication of the same and when it should be passed, but only pass the journal entry and write and practice in the next question what is new, as you would have already done them the previous questions earlier. Similarly for math stats, when you're practicing, don't just look at the answer A, B, C or D, whether whatever technique you're using which Anil sir has taught you, irrespective of what method you're following, still make sure to scribble. Remember, in the exam you don't get extra paper for your maths paper. So you don't get a rough working sheet, you will get a question paper. The question paper's last page will be empty. So that is the only place where you can scribble with a pencil, not with a pen. If you scribble with a pen, you could be debarred. So you get very little space for working. So practice doing that, or on your calculations to do quickly on the calculator. Don't just see the steps which you have written, made notes in the classroom. Practice by not looking at them, and that is how you will be sure that yes sir, I know this. And if you're stuck, then you will know which concept you're getting stuck in. This is a strategy you have to follow. Law, you have to learn to present. So present your answers, the whole three steps which ma'am has given you as to how a presentation to the each question should be. You have to follow that. Every now and then, every 5 to 7 days, at least write one answer to see or case study, solve it randomly so that you know you have a writing practice. Get it reviewed, either by your friends. Check with the steps which with the solutions ma'am has given, whether how accurate your answer is matching. Remember, in a theory paper in a professional examination, this applies especially to paper 2 law and BCR. Your answer should be little more precise. A general answer which in technicality could be correct will not fetch you full marks. So if you write a very general answer which presentation and the words are not very accurate but very vague, even though your concept is correct, you will not get out of out. So if it's a 5 mark question, you might end up still getting only 1 in some cases. So try to be little more precise, and that is why your presentation matters. With your BCR paper, I know a lot, we all have been studying English probably right from first standard, and most of the aspects, if we came from an English medium school, that is. So I'm assuming majority of you might not find English so difficult in nature, and a lot of students end up ignoring the preparation for the exam. But let me assure you, when the breakup of the marks come, students usually end up scoring the least marks in BCR, whereas this should be their strength. So why does this happen? That's because students end up ignoring this subject during preparation. Remember, again, a general answer over here will not fetch you marks. A plain presentation of the format, how we did probably in school, might not help. Be a little more accurate. Remember, you're writing this examination to become a professional, to become a chartered accountant, right? So therefore, your approach and the presentation should reflect that. As long as we have these things in mind, you will score well. But in case we ignore this, then this could make a big difference, and that's why a lot of students who find difficulty in theory end up losing marks over here. Remember that even if you don't find law, and law can be slightly tricky, the case studies could be slightly tricky and confusing, but BCR is also there in the same paper and could be a saving grace. provided we know our presentations are going to be good. So make sure that you're targeting at least a 30 in BCR out of the 40, so that irrespective of how your law paper is, whether it goes great or does not go as per your expectation, still there is no situation of not clearing the examination. Be prepared for these things. But students, it is a sincere request, 1 month left. Make sure that you have a timetable of how you study, consistently study. Sir, should we have colleges going on? Yes, complete those up and prepare your timetable keeping those in mind. For students whose attendance is high and way above your required attendance, then I would recommend that try and utilize those whatever offs you can take and focus to make sure you clear your examination in the first attempt. First attempt is the best attempt because you have not written the examination yet, so you don't have any extraordinary fears or the guilt of not clearing it before. So therefore mentally you can be best prepared only for the first attempt, so utilize it well. Some of the students have been asking me, sir, I have not prepared very well, I have not been consistent over the past 2-3 months, and now suddenly I'm feeling that maybe I should not be writing the examination and postpone my attempt to May examination. Please do not do that. In case you have heard from your seniors, sir, in CA attempts matter. Well, attempts could matter in your CA final, but this is your entrance examination. This is only CA foundation. Think from an employer's point of view. Somebody who's employing you, will he see how many attempts you took at the basic level while learning the course, or how many attempts you took at the final level when you're expected to be a professional? They'll look at your final level. Foundation does not matter. So even if you're not very sure, still don't skip an attempt, because you will not learn anything by not writing the examination. Worst case scenario, you will fail, and that will anyways happen. If you don't attempt, anyways you will be writing the examination again in May. So you have nothing to lose, everything to gain. So make sure that you go ahead and attempt the examination irrespective of preparation. The worst thing it will teach you is that it will remind you of where your preparation stands and will motivate you and help you to prepare for the May examination better. But by not writing the examination, you are not going to gain anything. So do not make that mistake at all. Be fully dedicated, believe in yourself, because only once you believe in yourself will you get the confidence in the examination hall. If you do not trust yourself and don't give yourself the faith, then it will not happen in the examination hall either. Magic will not automatically happen. First find that magic within you, and you will start enjoying the studying process when you start setting goals. I keep this as part of used to keep this as part of my own study schedule. So in case, for example, if you're studying 8 hours a day, set yourself that goal that these 2 hours I'll cover so and so, and that satisfaction that you get after covering those specific 2 hours and you actually achieve your goal is something else. It's a joy which cannot be described. The whole satisfaction of achieving your goals, and small goals daily, will make you a happier person and will also make sure that you are confident in the right way for the examination. You will be self motivated in this case, because yes, I'm trying to motivate you through the medium of this video, but external motivation only lasts a few days, but discipline lasts forever. And if you are disciplined and achieve your goals consistently like this, then you are going to find a way to be self motivated. You will not need a video from me, your other faculties, or any other external source. You will find a way to do this yourself. So these were a few tips. Now I know you might have a lot of questions. In case you have any questions relating to the exam, you might be feeling anxious, you want to connect with me, I am always available on the Telegram group. So make sure you message over there. Some of you are not very active here. I can understand your entire focus should completely be on studies right now. Watching lectures should not be first priority anymore. Practicing should be first priority. Again, reiterating, write and practice. Do not read, because if what you read you will know now, but later it is possible that you will forget. You will not be able to time yourself in the examination. So in case I put out, I know I put out a lot of points over here. In case you find this a little overwhelming, go through the video again when you're feeling low, but make sure you follow these tips. It has helped me personally and has helped a lot of students previously as well, to make sure that they are able to clear the examinations. Do not doubt yourself. Even if you have, start today. Wishing you all the very best. And a month later, after the examinations is over, we're looking forward to meeting you all and listening about the great results. All the best, guys. Thank you very much.